Life is not black and white. This is something that many people in this present day don't seem to understand. No one in the real world is completely good or evil. No one makes all good decisions or all bad ones. People are just fundamentally different. And though foundational morality stays the same, circumstance and context can change how people view events and characters. For example, murder is wrong and a crime. However, if someone murders a tyrant, it is guaranteed that people will split on the issue of the punishment of praise. Fiction is often escapist in this respect. Its many stories, Lord of the Rings, Narnia, Beowulf, etc., deal with good versus evil. However, this is often deceptive. No one likes a character that is completely good or evil, as they cannot be relatable in this regard. Let me explain. Characters can be good or evil. However, they are good or evil in their own mind, and thus the story will usually portray them as such. Everyone is the hero of their own story. I'm sure you have heard this before. Thus, often, the best villains we encounter in fiction are the ones who genuinely believe they are doing the right thing, or believe that the ends justify the means, and many of the best protagonists are ones who have a certain amount of moral ambiguity to them. Of course, there can be exceptions. However, generally, this is the rule fiction follows. Which leads us into today's character, Geralt of Rivia. For reference, I've read through all the books, comics, watched the show, which I may go over at some point, and played through the first game. I'm currently working through the second, and dreading playing the third because I worry it will ruin any other game for me. However, I am not going to discuss any of that today. Rather, I'm going to walk you through the short film Killing Monsters, which came out as a trailer for the third game. And the reason for this is that it perfectly describes the setting, the themes, and Geralt's philosophy and morality.
By order of the Emperor of Nilfgaard, for the murder of the wounded, looting, cannibalism, you are hereby sentenced to death by hanging or torment.
Keep in mind those accusations. They will be very important later.
Don't meddle. Take the reward and let's go.
With the beginning of that one line, we have already established a large portion of Geralt's character, without Geralt having done anything. Vesemir notices that Geralt has seen the woman being beaten, and he immediately attempts to stop Geralt from interfering. So already, we have established that Witchers are supposed to be neutral, that they do things for money, and that Geralt does not only fail to obey the rules of neutrality, he has a reputation for it. It is also more importantly established that he has a moral compass, perhaps even a very strict moral compass, and that he shows sympathy for those he deems oppressed.
Knew you witches wouldn't scorn imperial gold. Tough hunt.
Tougher than yours, that's certain.
Sorry, I love this line. It's just such a Geralt thing to say. Anyway, now we know that these are two monster hunters for hire, and that Geralt has an extreme case of dry wit.
Evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling, makes no difference.
Come fit me. Bring her down. Do it my way. You like that, you bitch? Get the hammer. Kick her teeth in.
Very close attention to Geralt's words. Evil is evil. To Geralt, there is no end to justify the means. Now you can see that Geralt is just about to walk by, obey his master, and keep with his oath of neutrality. Yet it is when they prolong the execution, opting instead to make it as painful as possible, that Geralt begins to stop, and his own code begins to kick in.
The degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all.
So this speech is actually from the original Witcher book. Geralt is speaking to a wizard who wishes for him to join his side, to which Geralt gives this speech because both sides kind of suck. Yet a theme within the books and the games is that eventually Geralt is always forced or compelled to take a side, no matter what. this leads to a lot of drama within the story, because as one can imagine, the side not chosen is usually pretty pissed.
Just make it quick, Geralt.
I find it hilarious that in order to make it quick, Geralt sands the sword. Now, Witchers are known as sword dancers, so if you want to look at this deeper, relate it to that. If you have ever played the games, you can see why they're called that. The show kind of touched on this, however, Henry Cavill took a lot of inspiration from the games, so watch or play those.
What the?
Close your eyes.
Hit him!
Yeah, she didn't pay attention to his order, did she? This is very important, this look right here. Is this a look of curiosity, gratitude, sick pleasure? We will never know. See, the mistake a lot of people make when they see this is that they immediately take the girl's side. Now, that's not saying that the group of men aren't low-life bastards. They absolutely are. However, we have no idea whether or not this woman actually committed any of the crimes she has been charged with. She very well could have.
What are you doing?
Killing monsters.
Get chills every time. Yet, you see, Geralt says he's killing monsters. However, the girl he's defending could very well be a worse monster than any of those thugs. Hell, she might even deserve the long death, we simply don't know. It's interesting that Geralt might have made the wrong decision, but this is something that plays out in the books and games. The only difference being that usually he has the time to hear both sides of the story before he interferes. This situation did not give him that luxury. This shows us a vital part of Geralt. If in a split-second decision, he will always take the side of whoever he deems weakest or more of a victim. This plays out in every conflict he has. However, this has a dark side, because he could be helping a horrible evil in the process. Let me relate to you a story. Whenever I play a game that involves choices, I always play it like I'm the main protagonist. I'm the main character. So my personal morals play a big part in how I play the game. Other people, like my best friend, might play it the exact opposite of how they would behave in real life, i.e. betraying their best friend on multiple occasions by jumping out of the Falcon in Halo Reach, and leaving me to fall to my death. Seriously, mate, I still insist I drive if ever I play a game with him. Now this plays into this analysis because I played with my own moral code when I started the first Witcher game. And spoilers, by the way. Now the beginning of the game absolutely sucks, but the story is fairly interesting. You are trying to figure out why an evil beast, as they call it, has appeared and is killing everyone. Typical Witcher storyline. Now this fell on two sides. One side, a witch named Abigail, claiming that it was the evil doings of the townsfolk that brought the beast to the village, and the other, literally everyone else, saying that it was Abigail's fault. Now as I began interrogating everyone, I found that there was no one that was entirely believable. All players involved were super sketchy, and so I was struggling to make a decision. Yet I learned more, and when it came time to choose a side, I was fed up with both sides because they were all terrible people. But one side was one terrible person, and the other 50. So I chose what I deemed to be the lesser evil and saved Abigail, telling off everyone else. Then after I killed the entire village, I was very disappointed that there was no option to kill Abigail too. So yeah, the Wicked Witch is not dead, unfortunately. But that is how this works. Geralt, as a character, is always forced to make decisions he never wanted to have, and each choice leads him to a harder one down the road. It is a very interesting character arc, one that embodies the idea that people being shades of gray. Well, I hope you enjoyed this analysis. If you have any constructive criticism or ideas of characters I should do, let me know below. I am trying to constantly improve, but as one can see, I am not the most prolific of people. However, I hope to perhaps make videos more frequently. I am a very busy man, and I need sleep, so apologies for how long this took. Anyway, see you next time.